So we've still got a few people left to join, but what I will do is just run through some of the introduction. So hello everyone that's online. Welcome to the session. Thank you for taking the time to spend a little bit of it with me. And thank you to those who have come in very early. It's almost 11 o'clock in Western Australia at the moment, PM. So it's very much the end of my day. So, as Delaney mentioned, my name is David Musgrave. I'm the owner of Winthrop Development Consultants. I'm a Microsoft MVP and GPUG All-Star. I started with Great Plains Dynamics back in 1994 when it was version 2. And as mentioned, I'm based in Perth, Western Australia. My contact details aren't there, but I will be putting that information up a bit later. So GP Power Tools, also shortened to GPPT, is originally based on the support debugging tool, the SDD, but after I left Microsoft, I negotiated the rights to it, and I've since updated it and rebadged it and re-released it as a product from Winthrop Development Consultants. It is sold and supported exclusively by McCormick, my distribution partner. If you want to know anything about it, the best place to go to start getting some information and for links to everywhere else is the portal, which is wintropdc.com/GPPT. So now, Delaney will get this poll up, but I'm interested to know who has actually had some experience either with Power Tools or with the support debugging tool. So we'll get that poll asked. That can stay up for a while. And basically just let us know if you've used one or the other of the tools. So our agenda today is going to be, I'm going to show off 4 features. There's just a quick taste of some of the things that the GP Power Tools can do. So we'll start with a demo of the company color themes. We'll also just show you how GP Power Tools makes using the company selection window better. It also has an option to prevent windows from opening outside the visible area. So it's an issue that some of you might have seen. I can show you how that works. And then we'll do a quick demo of how you can use GP Power Tools to resolve security issues.
All right, 88% have voted, so I'm going to go ahead and close the polls in 3, 2, 1. Ooh, up to 100% voted. Nice. And there are the results.
Excellent. So, all right, so what I'll do, this is the final slide. I'm going to pop out of here now. And let's start showing you some cool stuff. Okay, so I'm in Dynamics GP. You will notice that there's a couple of extra icons at the top, which allow you to get to GP Power Tools, but there's also an entire area page for GP Power Tools. So I'm going to go in here and we'll just demonstrate first of all the color themes. So there are times where, particularly if you've got a system with multiple companies and you've maybe got a test company, we've had situations where people have entered in transactions into an incorrect company. So this gives us a chance here to actually specify, oh, I'm actually in the wrong company. I'm just going to swap back to Fabricam. So you can specify and say, when I'm in a particular company, I want the background colors to be a particular color. So under Administrator Settings, and on the Company tab, I can say Activate the Company-Based Color Schemes. And when I apply, you'll see that the background colors have been altered. So if I pull up the, let's say, Customer Maintenance window, you'll see that it's pretty obvious that I'm in a particular company. So it's as simple as that. You can then go and choose what other colors you want for your other companies. So you can specify each company separately. All right, I will turn that off because otherwise you guys are going to need sunglasses for the rest of the demo. So I'll just put that back to normal. All right, so the company switch window is this window here. You use this when you're selecting companies. Now, one of the things that you'll notice is that it doesn't tell you what company you're currently in. And also, if you have a really long company name, particularly if you've got similar companies where they vary only on the last few characters, you'll find that the window fields are not wide enough. So there's a couple of things that we can easily fix. So I'm going to turn on. So by default, as soon as Power Tools is installed, it actually defaults to the last company. I had turned that off just for the demo. And the other feature here is to add the extra width. So now if we pull up this window, you'll notice one is it's defaulted straight away to the current company. So then I can just move to the next company if I want to move through each of my companies. And you'll notice that the fields are much wider, and so if I've got a long name here, it will now fit. Okay, so now the next one, let me just show, I'm just going to minimize this window a little bit. Okay, so this is the situation where windows can open outside of the visible area. So I'm going to get the customer maintenance window open and pull up and fits. Okay, and I'm going to open my note window. Okay, so the note window remembers the position that it was last opened at. So every time I open it, it remembers that position. So I'm going to put that on the left-hand edge of my window. The position is actually remembered relative to the main application window. So if I now pick up my main application window and start moving it across, you'll now see that the note window is starting to open off screen. In fact, you can barely see it now. It's quite on the left edge. And if I move that over a bit further, now you can no longer see the window when it's opened. Okay, so it is open. I can see it here, but I can't actually see it on my screen. So now that is a problem that some people have faced, particularly when they're swapping between dual screens or moving their application windows around. So Power Tools can easily solve that for me by popping in to Administrator Settings again on the Company tab, and there's this option here to prevent the window opening. That will take effect after the next login, so I'm just going to pop in and log in again. So now if I open up Cards, Sales, Customer, pull up Aaron Fitz and open the window, you'll see that it started opening off the edge and then jumps back in. So if I do the same thing now, I move this window here, I say open relative to that. So now when it opens, it's there. If I move this window across, that's now going to open outside of the visible area, but Power Tools says no, you must be inside the visible area. So that problem is now solved. You'll never ever have that problem again. Okay, so the final thing we've got to show you is a little bit about security. So if we pop into David here, this is a different user. And I'm going to try and create a return. And I get you do not have privileges. So now the question is, what is the window? So I've heard of people having trouble finding that window. So with Power Tools, I know it's called Create Return. So I'm just going to come in here and type in Create Ret. And it's found me the payroll window. Well, that's not the right one. Search again. Here it is, Create Return. And the reason that you can't find that easily when you're looking for it in security settings under Sales in Dynamics is because it's actually in the project series under the dictionary field service. So, but there's got to be a better way of dealing with security issues like that. So what I'm going to show you is I'm just going to turn on some settings. We're going to actually ask that to open and turn that back on. So okay, I'm back as David. I'm just going to log in again to activate those settings. So this time when I go to Sales and Sales Entry and I pop open and I get, first of all, the error message now actually contains the details of the window. So I can actually see that it's Create Return, that it's in the Field Service Dictionary. It has also opened the Security Profiler, showing that I have access denied to this window. So I'm going to export this, and I can export it via email or to file. So I'm going to save that, and I'm going to email my administrator and say, hey, I've got problems getting into this window. So if I pop back to the administrator, so I'm back on his SA, and I load up the security profiler, I import the file that the user has saved for me, and I can see the same error message. So let's expand this out a little. You can see it's create return. So I'm going to say, well, I need to give them access, so I pop into security. So this is the security information window. It shows me DynSA and SA have access, David doesn't. To get access, David would need to have access to the TRX FSS RTO1 task, which means that he'll have to be either RT agent or RT manager. So let's go in here, double clicked, and we'll give him the RT agent, save, redisplay. Now David is ticked. David has access. We pop back to David, and we go back to create return, and now the window opens. So that basically gives you a quick glance at some of the things that we can do with Power Tools. Let me come back to, oops, come back to this, and present. Okay, so basically we've got some time now for any questions. My contact details are up there. It's david@winthropdc.com, the portal. We've probably covered about 10%, maybe not even that, of what GP Power Tools is actually capable of. So there is a whole lot more if anybody's interested.
Thank you so much, David. Attendees on the line, now it's time for a quick Q&A. We do have a couple questions already. David, if somebody already has a support debugging tool, what would you say to convince them why do they need to upgrade to GP Power Tools? What were the benefits?
Well, I have actually got a blog post on the winthropdc.com blog, which has got 21 reasons why you should upgrade.
Oh, perfect.
Probably the biggest one is that the support debugging tool is no longer a supported tool. In fact, it was never supported by Microsoft. Power Tools has a lot of new features, a lot of fixes, and is 100% supported.
That's really important, for sure. All right, another question here. What is the future for GP Power Tools?
Okay, the GP Power Tools, I have a big wish list of features that have been asked for by members of the community, and I encourage people to let me know what features they'd like. So it will continue to be developed. It will be available for future versions of Dynamics, and it will only get better. I'm hoping to release a new build before the middle of the year, and that will have some really cool stuff in there that should blow people away.
That's exciting. We've got another question here. This attendee says it's her first time hearing about this feature. Are GP Power Tools for everyone or only the administrators?
No, GP Power Tools has features for users. For example, the color coding feature, GP Power Tools does need to be installed on your system for that, but there are features in there for users, there are features in there for administrators, there are also features in there for developers.
Oh, that's a lot. That's awesome. All right. Time for one more question quickly. The support debugging tool was free. Why does GP Power Tools cost now?
Okay. Basically, the support debugging tool was a pet project of mine while I was a Microsoft employee. I was getting paid a salary from Microsoft, and that basically was subsidizing the support debugging tool, and therefore it was able to get out there for free. I'm no longer paid by Microsoft as I'm not an employee anymore, so I need to earn an income somehow. So the Power Tools is actually sold for a lot less than it's worth at the moment. There is still a special introductory offer, and I urge people to take advantage of that. The price will probably go up at some stage in the future, but it will still be a very reasonable price.
No, this sounds like something a lot of people could benefit from and fairly easy to use. So it's exciting. This is my first time seeing a demo of this as well, so I'm right along with a majority of the attendees. But this was really cool to see. Job well done, David. I don't even know how I would go about starting something like this.
Yeah, well, 10 minutes is not very long to get through, what I can normally, well, just to give you an idea, before GPUG Summit, I did an entire day, and I still hadn't covered all of the product.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's amazing.
there's a lot that we can do.
And maybe I'll put a link to your blog when I upload this recording so people can see your blog post about all the things that you have to offer. Might do that.
Excellent.
All right. Well, we've already gone over our time, so I'm going to go ahead and end the webinar. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Thank you, David, so much for giving us a little sneak peek into GP Power Tools. Do you have anything you'd like to say before we close for the day?
Well, thank you very much for attending, and hopefully you'll find it worthwhile to purchase the product if you don't have it already.
All right.